Join me as I make this beautiful rainbow hematite and pink calsilica ankle bracelet. Let's go. Hi guys, thank you for joining me for another episode of Be Chic DIY. Today we will be making our beautiful rainbow calsilica. So I have the work order here. It's our hematite, rainbow hematite and calsilica anklet. It's absolutely gorgeous. It is one of our popular ones just because of the shimmer and the shine. And this build order is detailing all the parts that we will be needing over here along with their descriptions. You see we've got pink calsilica beads, faceted round beads. And I'm going to pick up one so you can see that it has these mini facets going all around this bead. It's absolutely gorgeous. And we will be using our antique silver tone daisies and our beautiful rainbow hematite rounds here. All right, well, let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing we're going to need, put the build order away, is we will be needing our black nylon coated stainless steel string. And I love using the string because it's so durable. And it's actually waterproof and weatherproof, so you will not have to worry about any rusting if you're going into the beach, if you're going into the water. You won't need to worry about any of that. So let's go ahead and just pull off a length of string for us, and we're going to start getting on to beading. So our first bead is going to be our 4mm silver ball. Okay, just like that, and a silver tone daisy, and then one of our rainbow hematite beads, and then another daisy, and one of our pink calsilicas. And that is pretty much the pattern here. So it's going to be daisy, hematite, daisy, pink calsilica, and we just keep repeating. So daisy, rainbow or hematite, daisy, pink calsilica. Well, now I'm just going to fast forward through this pattern since it just repeats. And so now we're reaching the end. This is our last set. So daisy, rainbow hematite, daisy, calsilica. Uh-oh, where'd it go? Calsilica. And so we ended off like how we started it, with a daisy and a 4mm round ball. And here we go. See? Now, the work order, just so you know, sometimes the measurement of the particular bead could be off because the factory made these beads maybe a little bit bigger, a little bit smaller, or sometimes the spacers came in a little bit or a little bit bigger or a little bit smaller. That's something that's out of our control, but our anklets are supposed to measure, and I've got a ruler over here, so let me go ahead and move this ruler up. So the normal length of an anklet is anywhere from 9.5 to 10.5, or I'm sorry, from 9 to 10. And so what we do here at Be Chic is we measure, once it's beaded on the string, you see this is already measuring at 9.5. This anklet will be a little bit on the bigger side. If we wanted it to be a little bit more standard, we should reduce down to right here. We should be reducing right around 8.5, which is what I want to do. So I'm going to go ahead and take off 2 of these beads, and it looks like we probably just had some minor measurement issues. Like I said, sometimes the factory makes the beads just a little bit bigger than they're supposed to be. So we go ahead and we have the, we'll have to go in and measure, change our measurements just a bit, or take a few beads off, or to put a few beads on. It's just normal practice that happens, especially in jewelry making. And now by taking off these 2 beads, we are more in line with the length that we want this to be. And you'll see it's just a little bit past 8.5. It's more like 8 3/4, which is fine. And that's where we want to be. So now it's time to go ahead and put on our ends. So the first thing we're going to do when we put on our ends is we're going to get a crimp bead, a little tiny crimp bead, and we're going to feed it onto our string. And then I like to go ahead and get the clasp, right? And the most important thing about the clasp is you have to make sure it works. So I always just go and do a little test. Just a little test to make sure that it's opening and closing securely, which it is. And then I'll go ahead and feed that onto my string. Okay. And now, let me move this up so the camera can see a little bit better. And now what you're going to do is you're going to fold over your string. You see your clasp is here, you're folding your string over, and you are going to refeed that crimp bead back onto the tail end and the main string. Just like so, and move it up. You're going to leave a couple millimeters of space in between the crimp bead and your clasp. Then you're going to go ahead and get your flat nose pliers and crimp down on your crimp bead, just like that. Okay, and so now your crimp bead has been crimped down, and you are now going to take the remainder of your beads that you've strung on, and you are going to refeed them back through your tail end and your main string, just like you did with the crimp bead earlier, which is going to hide that tail, just like so. You see? Tail is gone. Let's go ahead and bring the other beads over to join. And so now you've got one end that has been completed. So let's go ahead and close off the other end. So we're going to get our flush cutters right here. So now what you're going to want to do is tie off this other end over here. And I like to give about 4 inches, 3 to 4 inches of length to work with. So I'm going to go ahead and cut my string off. And I've got about 4 inches, which is ample enough space to work with. And I'm going to go ahead and get another crimp bead, string that on. And I've already have my extender chain right here with my split ring already faceted with my chain already fastened onto my split ring. And I'm just going to do the same thing I did on the other side with that lobster clasp. Just fold over and string through a couple of beads. And so now I've got the tail that's strung through the main bead, or the main wire, looped around. I'm going to go ahead and get my round nose pliers here. And I'm not going to crimp down on it or anything like that. I'm just going to leave it open and pull my tail. Okay, we're just going to pull it again. Make sure it's nice and tight. So you can see here, we've tightened it. There's no empty spaces with the bead. And we're going to pull out our round nose. And then we're just going to crimp down on that crimp bead. There you go, all done. So the only thing left to do is cut off that extra string. And here you go. Our Rainbow Hematite and Pink Calsilica anklet is now complete. Look at that. Isn't she beautiful? And what's great about it is so let's take a look at this measurement now. Remember, we strung on until it was around 8 3/4, but now that we've put on our ends, it now stretched out to that 9.5 mark I was telling you. So 9.5 is pretty much that Goldilocks zone for ankles, but we add an additional 2 inches of length onto our anklets with this extender chain. Because guys, we are inclusive. We know every ankle is different. You've got smaller ankles, you've got bigger ankles. I personally have a bigger ankle, and I always had issues finding anklets that would fit my bone structure, and which is one of the reasons why here at Be Chic, I made sure to design that these anklets would fit multiple size ankles. So I'm happy, so happy to be able to bring to you Be Chic anklets, inclusive ankle bracelets. So guys, I really hope you enjoyed taking this journey with me. Please, 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 we are starting our channel. We are new and up and coming to the YouTube realm. We would love it if you can like, comment, and subscribe. Importantly, comment. Please let me know if you see anything that you would love for me to add on to a design, or if you see anything I should do different. I'm open for suggestions. Please go right ahead. I love hearing it. Comment any of your thoughts below. And as always, we want you to be chic, be happy, and be inspired. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I really hope you enjoyed making this anklet with me. Love you. Bye.